Okay, today we have Sandra joining us from Money Wellness. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Lisa. Glad to be
Oh,
here.
yeah, so good to have you. I've just been watching, like, you and I chat a fair bit because we're using the same platform and everything for our memberships, but just watching some of the things you're doing. You can chat all day to people in finance, but some of the events you've been attending, I just want to ask, tell me about Sandra, Money Wellness, and where you guys are heading at the moment. You're doing some amazing things.
Oh, thanks, Lisa. My name's Sandra McGuire. I founded Money Wellness about 2.5 years ago after working in financial advice and accounting. So, certified money coach, financial educator. But basically, what money coaching does is it's the bit about education, mindset, and practical systems around managing your cash flow.
Yeah.
And my theory is, I guess numbers come naturally to me, but it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. And I'm trying to get that message across to people that you really can be empowered to take control of your financial situation. And I love working with people. I moved out of corporate and one-on-one, and I could see that just a little bit of help, a little bit of information can make a big difference to individuals. So with money coaching, I like to equip people with the mindset and some knowledge and confidence so they can make informed financial decisions. And that's in line with where they want to head with their life goals. So it's really rewarding, and I believe that everyone deserves to have that. And recently I've attended some events where we're trying to support people who need some assistance, and that has been in the domestic violence spectre in terms of what systems and what help can we put in place to support them while they're in it or while they're recovering from it.
Yeah. And do you know in spaces that support people in domestic violence, are these sort of programs out there now, or do we need Sandra out there telling people? Because honestly, it's really interesting if you look, well, this is from stats that I've looked at. It's one of the main reasons that people stay in situations is because financially they don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, and that's something that we were looking at. What can we put in place? Is it confidence? Is it knowledge? Is it access to funds? But just that initial support for people. And one of my colleagues, we actually ended up at State Parliament with our local minister who introduced us to the Minister for Women's Services or something. So having a look at what structures can we put in place, and yeah, education's a big one.
Yeah.
And can we get our banks, can we get our super funds and others just to provide basic, simple information for people?
Yeah.
I've done work with community groups, but that's again funded by government grants. If and when you're in serious trouble, there are financial counsellors and charities and others who will provide financial counselling, but it's that first step as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been part of a number of conversations recently about how financial insecurity can prevent women from leaving unsafe or abusive relationships. So, what are some of the most common financial barriers you see, and how can we begin to address them practically?
All right, let's acknowledge we're talking about a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
And it may be triggering for some people, but unfortunately, it is an issue, domestic violence in our society. And we need to have these conversations to bring it to light. But just know if you're in that situation, it's not your fault. There's no blame, and support is available. So the first step is to, if you're in that, to reach out and know that there are people and systems to support you. So the first question is, if I need to leave, where am I going to go?
Yeah.
How can I afford to pay for the basics or accommodation? And that's one of the biggest fears, obviously. So if you're in danger and you have to leave your home, obviously, if it's emergency, you call the police. But there are great organisations like Safe Steps.
Yep.
You can call them at any time, 24/7, or online chats.
Yep.
They do provide crisis accommodation, or there's 1-800 Respect where you
Yeah.
can talk to a counsellor over the phone. So if it's that urgent, take those steps. But if you're thinking about leaving, you're going to have to find some accommodation. And having access to money, obviously, is important. And some women, due to the nature of the relationship, don't have that, have been denied that. So just having a bank account in your own name is
Yeah.
simple.
That's a great suggestion. Fabulous suggestion.
Because if they're joint bank accounts or if you're in a situation where one partner manages everything and the other partner has no idea what's going on in the bank or doesn't even know the passwords. And having knowledge, and this is always one thing that I've had in my life, is having knowledge about what your family situation is. Do you
Yeah.
know what's in your bank accounts? Do you know your passwords and those sort of things? Or does your partner control or limit your access to that?
That's just it. I mean, sometimes you're just not going to know, are you?
And you do need to, even before a situation gets worse, anybody in any relationship should know what's going on with their joint finances. Even if one person's paying the bills and managing the
And
bank and
does
that sort
most,
of
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
you need to be having those regular conversations. This is coming in, this is what we're spending, etc. And if you don't have that, you can feel very powerless. You're not really sure what's available to you.
I don't know whether I'm thinking about this in a different way. I don't know. But with you saying just at least have a bank account in your name, to me, that actually goes a lot further than even if there's no money in there. What that does is it actually gives you some sort of identity. You're putting yourself in a situation where, okay, at least I know where my passport, my driver's license, my Medicare card, I know where those things are because I've had to access them to open a bank account. So it gives you that little bit of freedom, I guess. And one thing I will come back to just because I might forget, those numbers like 1-800 respect, safe steps, people can call them. Don't be afraid.
The first step is to reach out and ask for
Yes.
assistance. It is there, it is available. It is very hard to feel stuck,
Yeah.
but Safe Steps is wonderful in the support. It's not just crisis accommodation, but all the support services they put around people 24/7. You
That's
can.
exactly right. Yeah. Don't be afraid to call them.